Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Coach Kyle, and in today's video we're going to go over my core beliefs or core values for coaching. I'm Kyle Thalman, aka Coach Kyle. I'm a gymnast, a coach, an engineer, and a philosophizer. I invented the wizard coaching method because it works like magic. If you like this video, like it, and then subscribe to the channel. More videos, share it on Facebook, whatever. Anyway, let's get down to the topic. So, what are my core beliefs? I've got four main core beliefs, or like you put them together, it's kind of like a mission statement for when I coach gymnastics. And here they are. Rule number one, and this beats out all the other rules. So it's like Isaac Asimov's hierarchy of rules. The first one is more important than the other ones. Second one beats everything else except for the first one, yada yada. So the first rule, safety. Safety first. Okay, safety for the athletes, safety for the coaches, safety for anybody watching. Keep the athletes safe. Okay, I'm not saying it's not going to hurt at times, okay, like rips and stuff. It's like, okay, that hurts, it sucks, deal with it, we got work to do. At points it'll be psychologically painful because, sometimes it's like, man, I really can't do it. I'm super frustrated. There's going to be tears there. Sometimes they're like, man, I scored really bad. But those kind of things are more of pain for growth. What I'm talking about, safety first, is like, crippling injuries, stuff that's going to really set us back. Okay, if somebody breaks their arm, it's going to be 6 months before they're even, back to where they were. And this also applies to sexual abuse, okay? That's why we're going to have cameras in the gym, coaches always watching each other, the 3-person rule, never have a coach and a kid alone. That's safety first, okay? So safety first for coaches, for parents, for the athletes. Everybody's got to be safe. That's rule number one. Rule number two, teach them to be awesome people. Okay, the athletes, the parents, the coaches, everybody you're around, you want to teach them and bring them up. So especially for the kids, you want to socialize the young ones. So you want to teach them not to be little buttholes, teach them not to gossip, especially the parents and the coaches. Teach everybody to respect each other, okay? Teach especially little kids, to play fair. Teach them to tell the truth, have them know what's acceptable and what's unacceptable behavior. A high five is cool. Grabbing somebody's butt is not cool. And I'm talking about 5-year-olds grabbing a coach's butt or each other's butt. I already did a video about that. Go check, link in the description. You also want to teach them how to, control their emotions when they need to, how to calm down when they're super frustrated or scared or, just sad. You want to teach them what commitment and discipline is and what focus means and what you can do with it. Teach them long-term goal settings and how to deal with failure and mental setbacks and stuff like that. So, as long as it's not a safety issue, this is the next step. I'm trying to teach them all of these life lessons, okay? Rule number 3 is teach gymnastics as effectively and efficiently as possible. Now, this is rule 3. So if this rule conflicts with either making them an awesome person, I'll put their gymnastics training aside to teach them, a valuable life lesson. We're like, no, if they've been goofing off at school and their grades are terrible, and their parent comes in and is like, sorry, we're not going to come in to practice because they need to write this extra credit problem or paper or do this project for school, I'm not going to be the one that's like, no, bring him to gymnastics. I'm like, yeah, that's a life lesson. You don't get to do fun gymnastics if you haven't done the work at school. Life lessons come before gymnastics. Now, luckily, over my years of coaching, I've found that the Russian style of do it or I'll hit you is not really the most effective or efficient way to teach gymnastics, which is awesome because that kind of sucks. So, the kids, if they're happy, they're having fun, they're enjoying themselves, sure, there's going to be some times where they're frustrated or angry and stuff, but really, psychological studies behind this says if they're happy and they're engaged and they're enjoying it, they'll learn faster, they'll learn better, they'll retain the knowledge for longer. I mean, it's all positive to avoid that harsh, really critical, mean style of coaching. Just to give an example of this point, I was coaching I think level 6 boys group with a less experienced coach, and we split them up. I was doing some pommel horse, he was doing some conditioning or something, and we'd switch after 20 minutes. Anyway, I get the other group of boys in, and they're just dead, and I'm like, what was he making you do? It was just crazy conditioning circuit, just insane. And I was like, hey, I go to the coach, I'm like, why are you making them do this really crazy, insane conditioning? It doesn't make sense, okay? Because we still have an hour left to practice, and we also have another practice tomorrow. If you kill them now, one, the rest of practice is going to suck, and two, they're not going to be recovered by tomorrow. Okay, if you're pushing them this hard, it takes at least 2 days to recover. Why are you doing this? And he's like, to make them strong. Well, they will get stronger, but you've just burned like a day and a half of, lessons. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so whenever you're putting together your lessons, you got to think about efficiency and effectiveness. Is this going to work? And how can I make it work even better? Get those things in there. And every conference I'm going to, I'm like, all right, will this help make my boys team better, faster, or, get the skills in their heads even quicker than before? Will it make them stronger, faster? How can I set up lesson plans to get it, all that information and knowledge and skills into their bodies? Now here's another example of the flip side. So I had a group of level 7s, and this was like late summer. So in this period, we were, working new skills and a lot of conditioning to make them stronger for the new skills, but they were kind of having trouble with a few of the higher level skills, kind of mental block kind of things. So one day I came in, and this is also kind of an experiment, but I was like, let's see what happens. Worst thing is we burn a day. And it was also, yet again, it was a Saturday, so they didn't have practice the next day. So keep that in mind as well. So I come in and we're like, look, we're going to do 1,000 V-ups in this practice. And they're like, what? No way. And I'm like, yes. Not only that is we're not going to stop practice to do these 1,000 V-ups. You're going to do 1,000 V-ups in between your turns. So it's like take a turn on vault, jump down, do 50 V-ups, mark it in the book, and then, get back in line. They all did it. Took them about, 2.5, 3 hours to get through all 1,000 V-ups, but every single one of them made it. Okay. And I never did this again. But after that, there was like, it was a change of mindset. Being able to do something that they didn't think was possible, 3 hours before that, they were like, this is no way. This is not going to work. 3 hours later, they've all done 1,000 V-ups, and we had a pretty good practice. So it was like a complete mindset change. I never had to do it again, and they had a whole day to recover. So strategically planning in days where you're just going to crush them with, conditioning because, maybe you're working iron crosses and you really need to push through and get to the next level. But, do it strategically. Don't just do it because it's hard or because I'm the best coach ever, okay? Coaching from your ego is stupid. Do everything for a reason. Is it going to be effective? Is it going to be efficient? If not, don't do it. This kind of leads into my last rule is keep an open mind. Learn from everything. Everywhere. Like truly leave your ego behind. I met so many coaches that are like, I've been coaching for 20 years. I've been coaching for 30 years. And they have no idea how to change their ways. And it's like, man, you have so much knowledge in this, but can't, like recent technique changes, recent, changes in psychology, especially psychology. A lot of them are still stuck in that do it or I hit you, Russian hardcore meme coach mentality, or just do it because it's hard. It'll teach them because it's hard. It's like, okay, is there a reason other than it's just hard? Okay, are they learning anything else? You can make it hard, and you can make it like good conditioning, and you can make it like a body awareness thing. You can do all three of those things at the same time. Why not do that instead of 1,000 giants just to teach them that their hands can rip and it's okay? Something stupid like that doesn't really make sense. Another thing I see that coaches like that 20 plus years under their belt, they just can't admit they're wrong, so they can't ask questions because they'll feel stupid. It's like, I've been coaching for 20 plus years, I know everything. But if you know everything, you can't ask questions. So if a new technique comes along and you're kind of confused or something, it's like, well, what the heck does that mean? I'll be the idiot and be like, I'll ask dumb questions all day long until I figure out what exactly they're talking about. Okay, it's like, okay, why are we doing this? Why do their hands up on that part? I thought we were supposed to keep our arms down. I will ask 1,000 dumb questions just so I understand it, so I can get better. Always keep an open mind. All right, to implement these things in your coaching style or philosophy, it just takes some time. Okay, let's sit down and be like, all right, what's really important to me? And it doesn't have to be my rules. It could be, I heard somebody else was like school and family and faith, and those things were also really important. Those were part of his top 5 or 4 or 5 rules as well. But really, what's important to you? I would agree with those, but not to the extent, well, yeah, faith, family, school, those are all above gymnastics. So they're kind of in that ambiguous make people awesome rule for me. It's like if it's good for the kid, I'm going to do what's best for the kid and not what's best for me as a gymnastics coach. Anyway, but seriously, sit down, take like an hour or meditate on it for like a week or something and start writing down what are your core beliefs, core values for coaching? Question of the day, do you guys have any other, core beliefs, core values that you're trying to teach kids? What's your philosophy on coaching? Put it in the comments down below. If you think this was helpful, please like and subscribe to this channel, yada yada, share it on Facebook, all that good stuff, or wherever you young people share it. Yeah, I'll keep posting more vids. Thank you. Coach Kyle.